The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real. Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat. I am so honored tonight. Not only do I have the beautiful Kelly Mercavo with me, but I also have the beautiful Peggy Gypsy with me. I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome tonight.
Hello, everybody.
Doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing good. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, so I'll warn everybody ahead of time. I sound funny to me, but Miss Peggy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see what people have to say, and I'm excited for the show.
Yes, we are. I've been looking forward to this. I've been keeping this show under wraps for a long time. And it's hard for me with my big mouth, so.
I know, we've been messaging each other for the past couple weeks.
At least, no, I think even longer, but
it's been like almost 2 months. You're right.
Yeah.
It's been almost 2 months we've been going back and forth.
It's been a while now, so we have some big announcements to make tonight, and let's I like doing shout outs first to the people that are first in chat. Not everybody's in chat, and that's okay, we understand. I was reading Dan Class is complaining about the new
I know.
You know
I'm
what?
working on it.
I was waiting to see how long it was going to take for Dan to show up. He messaged me before we started. He was like, hey, good luck today. I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a couple minutes before he's on.
Well, and he loves to razz me about anything he can. So,
of course.
You know, so I'm going to go get a picture of Dan.
Do we?
I swear there was one on there.
There was. No, well, there hasn't been in a couple weeks, but there was a little stick figure thing before. I don't know what happened to that.
I am a stick figure. That's what I look like.
We're all stick figures.
Yeah. So let's throw some shout outs out. Hey, Dan Class. We have Mama Pat, of course. Alita. We have Miss Jen B. We have Wolf. We have Mr. Matthew Adele. Let's see where else. And we have, of course, Miss Kim Purvis, who is almost always first in chat.
Nice.
Yeah. And again, if you're not in chat, that's okay. But if you really want to have fun, the fun is really in the chat. Yeah. Mama Pat needs a picture, too. I agree, Dan. I really agree.
This is the best.
Kelly typing.
You guys have to tell me what Dan says.
It's fine.
Because I can't see. I can't see the chat. So you guys have to tell me everything he says because he's funny.
Oh yeah. I've gotten the chance to be on a couple shows with him, and he probably doesn't even realize who I am. I have so many different names out there, but
you have aliases.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. I think the last time I was on a show with him, I was the co-host, and I was like 30 minutes late for the show myself. So
oh my,
that's gonna stick out. Yeah. So,
all right. Are we ready?
I think so. Everything seems to be going well.
Good.
All right, Miss Peggy, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, let's see. How can I start? I am a medium. So before anybody starts putting anything in the chat, I'm not a psychic medium, so I can't, foretell your future or anything like that. I'm more of a spiritual medium that if a spirit comes to me to give you a message, then I'll go ahead and, give the person the message. But it's not something that I will answer on the chats or on the, on the show or anything like that. But let's see. My first experience was when I was 6 years old, which is actually a pretty cool story for those people who haven't heard it yet. I was raised in New York City. So, for those who know New York City, you live in big apartment buildings. And I was at my aunt's house, and I kept looking towards the hallway, and I kept seeing my cousin Joe walking back and forth. And I'm like, Joe, come play with me. And he would just give me a blank stare and disappear. But, you're a kid, you're 6, you're not really paying attention. And then it will happen again. And I'm like, why are you so upset with me? Come play with me. And, now that I'm an adult reliving that memory in my head, it was a very blank stare. So, after a few days of that, I kind of was upset. I went up to my aunt and I said, what's wrong with Joe? He doesn't want to play with me. And she's like, what do you mean he doesn't want to play with you? I'm like, I keep seeing him in the hallway, going back and forth, but he's not talking to me. So then that's what, they took me to the living room. And, I come from a Dominican family. So we're a large family, like Italian family. We're very large. Everybody's in each other's business. So they sat me down and, my aunts and uncles and grandma all sat around me and they were like, can you describe him? How did he look?
Right.
So I described how he looked. And then, that's when it was revealed to me that my cousin Joe was a twin at birth and Edwin passed away. So that's my first spirit that I ever saw was my cousin Edwin. So I'm like, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Well, why doesn't he want to play with me? I was more focused on why doesn't he want to play with me than being
well, that's great,
hey.
But I still want to play.
Yeah, I was like, okay, great. I have this awesome gift, which, growing up Dominican, you see a lot of things. You see a lot of, I have from voodoo to hoodoo to Santeria in my family. We have everything. So for me, it's just kind of like saying, oh, you sing too. That's great. So it was something that was, embraced in my culture, embraced in my family. And growing up, it was kind of hard because I didn't want to be the weird person. I didn't want to be that girl that was at school seeing things. And, being in the U.S., you kind of keep stuff like that to yourself. Because if you tell a teacher, like, hey, I just saw something, then all of a sudden, they think you're schizophrenic or you're hallucinating. It's not so much embraced as it should be in the American culture. But so, I went through like years and years of, studying different religions and just seeing what was out there. And, I said, you know what, I'm never going to do this again. I don't want to see any spirits. Leave me alone. And 2013 was a very pivotal moment in my life. I was young, very young, living in LA. And my sister and I were looking for parking. Now, for those people who ever lived in LA or visit LA, it's like New York City. There's never any parking. So we kept going up and down the same street at 11 o'clock at night. Person, where's no parking spot? I'm so upset. And my phone was next to her phone. My phone called her phone and her phone kept calling my phone over and over to the point that we pulled over and we were like, okay, this is so weird. What is going on? And we would turn off our phone, turn it back on, and it kept calling. We didn't think about anything, found parking, went to bed went to bed. Next morning, we see on the news that at the same time that our phone kept calling each other, two girls were killed. They were raped and murdered on the street that we were looking for parking. So that was kind of like, wow, that's, my grandfather, Savignon, who he watches my whole family. That was a sign of him saying like, hey, I'm here to protect you. You're going to stay in the car. You're not getting out. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm back. Like, I'm sorry, I'm back. So
That's
that was
pretty awesome.
Just few experiences. And, it's an amazing gift. Like I tell people, it's a great gift, but it's also a curse at the same time. Because once you open up, I tell people, once you open up that box, there's no turning back. You can't turn it off. You can't say, you know what, from this point on in my life, I'm no longer going to see spirits. Like, you're just going to see them, and you just have to embrace it. It's, and live with it. That's how I see that.
I love that I can hear the Spanish twang and the New York thing.
Yeah, you get both.
It's like, it is the best thing I've heard in a very long time on air.
Oh, no, you girls will hear me say y'all too, and you're like, are you Southern now?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I really do.
So you'll get a little bit of everything.
We have a question from Dan Class, and it's way down, so I don't want to forget.
Okay.
I got it.
Yep. What is your favorite ghost hunting equipment to use?
Besides me, no, I'm kidding.
No,
that's a really good answer.
It is.
But you know what? Forever, I was one of those people, now that Dan brought that up, that I was like, I don't need any equipment. I'm a medium, like I'm my own equipment. And then you kind of feel like, you feel so curious when people are bringing out all their equipment and you're like, wait, what's that? Like, I want to use that too. So now I'm like past couple of years, I'm embracing using equipment as well. And my favorite, I'm obsessed right now with the Necrophonic app.
Yep.
I've been getting so many responses that it's just, I'm like obsessed with it. I don't want to use anything else but my Necrophonic app.
Can I ask why? I'm not an app person, so I've never used an app. So,
you know what? Like with me,
yeah,
I think for me, it's easier because I get to hear all these things. And I feel like with the Necrophonic app, I can kind of focus in on what they're saying. If I use like the SB boxes and stuff like that, it's just so much noise, so much like things going on. And my mind is already racing and I can't focus.
Well, and the other thing...
Both of you might be able to answer this, but do you think as mediums, you can tune out the noise, like when you're using an app? Can you tell the difference between just crap and something special, or are you just like everybody else and just going with it?
I mean, like, for me, I don't know if it's for Callie, but probably too. Like, certain things do stand out because you also get a feeling when the
exactly.
If it says hurt, you kind of get a feeling, and you know that it's not, just a clutter saying hurt.
Yeah.
Is it like that for you, Callie?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was just going to say it feels different. There's a different energy, a different vibration to it. But the other thing about necrophonics, especially, so Spiritus and Necrophonic are both made by the same person. They're both applications by Keith Weldon. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I like about those, that first off, the SB7s, like Peggy was saying, they're so loud. It's just so loud. And I don't know what it is about them, but they mess with me. They make me almost like lightheaded and make the room spin. Mm-hmm. So I have...
Do you feel the tinglies? Like
with the SB7 box?
Yeah.
I just start feeling kind of sick, kind of lightheaded. Yeah. So a lot of times when people will turn on an SB7, I have to leave the room. But an SB7 is actually scrolling through radio stations ridiculously fast, but it can still pick up words here and there. The difference with the Necrophonic and the Spiritus apps is they don't have any words that are programmed into them. It's just phonetic sounds, so la ta ka ba da, So in order for it to put together Peggy Gypsy, it has to put it together a bunch of different faux sounds to be able to get those words to come out at all. So it's so neat to be able to hear the words come out of there when you know damn well there are no words in that application at all. And Necrophonic especially. Spiritus has more background noise. There is more just clutter noise. But the Necrophonic is quieter, and there's not quite as much of that static noise that you have to filter through. When things come through, it's more often something.
So why...
Yes, I've used both of them a lot. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's that's why I love having you on. Both of you, again. Why do you think something that is just can say part of words compared to whole words? What's the, you put more weight in one over the other? Or is it just that the SB7, 11, any spirit boxes, they're just loud? And I'm asking for me. I mean,
I've used those boxes a couple times, and like Kelly says, like I feel like I have to leave the room. I just feel like it's just too much going on.
Mm-hmm. And the spirits don't like them as much.
That's what I feel. And, thank you, because that's what I feel. And that's what I've told people. I'm like, you know what? I don't think they're fond of all this noise and all this ruckus. And I feel like when I'm standing in a room, it's like so much is already going on spiritually, and then you throw this on and it's just kind of like, yeah, no. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to trash that box, but I'm a negative fan. Yeah.
That's what this show is for.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. Paranormal Chat is for trashing anything you want to trash. It's all good.
No.
And I've heard some really good EVP that have been captured with an SB7 box. So I'm not saying that they don't work by any means. I'm just saying that for me, it's too much noise. It's too much clutter. It's too...
Yes.
You could be picking up words. Yeah. And I have had, because Peggy and I can both hear the spirits, when a spirit box gets turned on, they're like, oh, that's loud, and they leave. Yeah. And it's like, okay, that was counterproductive of what we were going for.
Exactly.
So, I think the other thing, too, that impressed me the very first time I heard Spiritus, because we got it pretty, I got to experience it pretty quickly after it came out. Mm-hmm. It sounds more like when I'm listening to try to find a certain spirit's energy, sounds more like what I hear, if that makes any sense at all.
No, it does.
It does. It makes sense.
See, not being a medium, I tend to look at things differently than you guys, which is why I love communicating with you guys and getting the different sides of everything. I'm laughing because we have a couple...
Yeah, I'm looking at Dan's question.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is Dan saying? He is so lucky that I cannot see the chat room right now.
Oh, he's a turd.
I just see Kelly's face just laughing and moving and shaking her head.
So Dan would like to know, what famous ghost hunters have you investigated with? Who is your favorite and why? Our favorite has to be Dan, doesn't it?
I think, what, Dan? Do you want me to say that it's you? I feel like questions like that, especially when you're getting out there that you want to investigate with everybody and you don't want to have a favorite, So I feel like I enjoy everyone that I investigate with, celebrity or not. I feel like you get something from them. You learn from them. There's a lot of, like, I investigated a few months ago with Sean Austin. And I learned a cool trick that he does when he does EVPs, where he turns on the EVP machine and then he waits like 10 seconds, even before he asks a question. And I'm like, man, what do you do that? Like, I go right into it. He's like, well, sometimes they're just talking. They just want to say something. So you give them that 10 seconds even before you ask a question. And, by doing that, we had an amazing EVP session. So, I feel like there's not a favorite. I feel like everybody who you investigate with, you kind of learn something from them. And
I have to say, Dan's pretty fun.
With you.
Dan is a good time to investigate with. And
he's a good guy. I've learned a lot
from
guys,
I don't want to say this wrong, because I know of Dan Class and we've been on a couple shows together, but he's from Hinsdale, right?
Yes, the Hinsdale house.
Yeah, right. He's the owner of the Hinsdale house.
Owner? I knew he was from. I didn't want to misspeak on air.
Oh no, he's the owner. He's the owner.
I thought so.
Yeah, he's the owner, but he's been to. So, he's in New York all the time, obviously, but he comes to Iowa quite a bit. Quite a bit.
That's
he's been to Iowa.
That's where I knew him from before.
Right,
New York. I'm like, New York's my neck of the woods. When did I know him from there? Nope, I know him from
Iowa. No, he comes to several of our expos that we do, and then we've done, I've hosted different events that he's come and been part of our celebrity guest panel. Yeah. He's a good time, but the thing about Dan is he's so very down to earth, and that's, I think that's important. I look up to Peggy. I think you're amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Really
but I don't.
Girl, stop.
But I don't get this. I don't know. There's there's just no ego from either one of you guys, and that's amazing. So
like, I think in this business, you can't have an ego. You know what I mean? Like, I think once you have an ego, that's when you're done. I feel like I'm always excited. In any investigation that I do, I'm always excited. Today, I went to Forest Lawn Cemetery by myself, and I was I'm bored. I'm going to go have an investigation. I always feel like it's my first time. And I feel like once you have an ego and you're doing an investigation and you're just going through the motions, it's kind of you to, get out of the business. I feel like you just have to be humble and be excited even if you're investigating with a top A celebrity or you're investigating with a person who's their first time. You just have to be happy to investigate.
I think it's more of a feeling than whether they're on TV or they're a celebrity.
Yeah.
If they have that passion, they have the heart for it, and they leave the ego at the door, I'm willing to work with you. I don't care.
And it's their approach. It's their approach, too, because, again, it doesn't matter if it's their first time out investigating or it's their 1,000th investigation. How do you approach it? Because there's some people that you just meld well with, and other ones that you're like, we just don't work well together,
No.
And that's okay. It doesn't mean either one of us is right or wrong.
Exactly.
Peggy, you are popular. We have so many questions. I'm falling behind here.
I know.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it all Dan?
It's not all Dan.
It's probably like Dan. Question.
No. It's not all Dan. I'm literally falling behind. So now I'm trying to catch up real quick.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Wow.
I read I'm just gonna keep sputtering because no dead air rule, which I don't believe in, but.
Well, you're doing that. I'll just chat about the cemetery that I was at today.
Yeah.
Guys, this place, it's over, I think it was 263 acres.
Oh, wow.
And you have, Rick James is buried there, Millard Fillmore, the guy who invented the electric chair, just so many cool stuff that I saw today. It was so big that I'm going to have to go back tomorrow. And first of all, I was harassed by tons of deers are living in the property. And they kept harassing me. I would try to walk and they'll stand in front of me and stare me down. It was to the point that I had to call Lynn on video. And she's like, why are you calling me on video? I'm like, I think they're going to kill me. I'm lost and they're staring at me. She's like, they're shapeshifters. I was like, don't say that. I'm by myself all the way out here and I'm lost.
Killer deer.
It was crazy. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Listen, but it was scary because they would walk. It would be 5 or 6 of them. And then they will turn and stare at me dead in the face.
They can be aggressive if it's the right season. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm just not going to make eye contact. I'm going to look away because this is not a staring contest, And then they would just keep on and then turn around and stare at me. And I'm like, I told Lynn, I was like, listen, if anything happens to me today, if I'm missing, it is not anything to do with spirits or the paranormal. The deer got me. They got to me.
That is awesome.
I took pictures of the deers too. They're posted online.
Let's Dan Class says, my favorite is Kelly to investigate. I don't know if he means investigate with.
Yeah.
But Kelly is one of my favorite people in general, so I agree.
Aww.
You guys are too sweet.
I'm just going to go through the questions and then I'll get back to comments after. There's a lot. I mean, Peggy, I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody knew with me. I was like, oh my God, no one's going to be on. It's going to be Dan and 2 of my friends. That's it.
No.
No, Shay's got a big following and you've got a big following. So, we knew there'd be a lot of people.
Shay does not have a big following. People listen to Shay to see what the F is she gonna, I didn't say it. What is she gonna say tonight? That's why people listen. But Michelle Johnson, hey Michelle, says, what about Snore? I have no idea. I'm just reading it. What about Snore Labs? Oh, wait a minute. Snore Lab apps. I guess you just pick up the voices while you were sleeping. Does anyone else
snore like snoring?
That's
never heard of this.
I would be terrified what it would pick up while I'm sleeping.
That goes on when I close my eyes.
I'm single because of snoring. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
My house is a no investigation, no app, no nothing zone. Today I had to turn on my necrophonic just to make sure it was working, because at the last place I investigated, it wasn't working. So I turned it on, and the first thing I hear, it's like, hey! I said, goodbye, click, you're off. Like, my house, no investigation zone. So I wouldn't want to know what happens when I'm asleep. No, thank you. No.
Hey, the first place I've lived in a long time, no paranormal activity. Thank effing God. And we're now on iTunes and stuff, and I'm trying not to swear, but don't.
Oh, yeah, no swearing.
The F-bomb will drop, so go ahead.
We will say fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason the show has the rating it does.
Yeah. I swear all the time, so when I think of it, I try to stop myself.
It's okay.
Mama Pat wants to know where Peggy is located.
I am in Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
Today it was nice today. It wasn't cold.
Yeah, are you guys having a nice weekend out there? I saw you were at the cemeteries today, so I wondered.
Oh my God. Listen, it was about in the 40s, windy and cold, but for us Buffalonian, you give us a one nice day in the middle of winter. People had shorts on, the dogs were outside. I mean, it was so ridiculous. It was like it was 75 degrees. Everything was packed, you know. Even the cemetery, there was a lot of people. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Cars are driving by. You know, the workers are staring at me like, what is she doing? Why is she sitting down? Why is she all this noise? And I'm like, oh my God, don't kick me out. But if you do, make sure it's caught on Periscope.
Right, exactly. But let me get my tape rolling first if you're going to kick me out.
Exactly. Let me get everything rolling first. Let me get these views right now.
No, I was actually talking earlier with Mama Pat if we're going to head out this weekend. Because, we're supposed to be like 40s this weekend, too. So it's a heat wave for January.
Yeah, so it's like, go out.
Go.
That's right.
I'm secretly trying to get a couple weeks off here, but it you know.
We'll figure it out. We will figure it out, Shay.
If I miss any questions in chat, because there's a lot of questions coming up, I am very sorry. Please repeat them. And if it's just keep repeating them over and over. Yeah.
So where has been your favorite place to investigate?
Wait, is Dan still on before he kills me?
Where's your favorite location besides Hinsdale?
Yeah, I was going to say, good. Let me rephrase my question.
And then he'll get upset. Favorite? You know what?
Outside of Buffalo, where's your favorite place?
Exactly. Let's say it like that. This past summer, I went to Brushy Mountain Penitentiary in Petros, Tennessee. That place, besides the fact that it was beautiful, you know, the whole time we're there and I'm telling Dan, I'm like, I don't feel anything. This is dumb. Like, why are we here? It's hot. So, you know, for those people who know me well, I complain. I'm hot. I need Starbucks. You know, my hair is frizzy. It's 100 in Tennessee. You know, I'm just miserable. And then we finally walk into the prison. And then I looked at him and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I changed my mind. This is insane. It was like I was walking in there and I literally felt like a piece of meat. I didn't know if they wanted to rape me or chop my head off. Like that was like the crazy energy that was in that place. There was nothing nice. There was nothing like, oh, hey, I'm just an aggressive spirit and I'm pissed off. No, it was like, I'm either going to rape you or I'm going to chop your head off.
Wow.
It was that intense. And I think just because it was that intense and / beautiful place, I mean, this place was amazing. The structure was amazing. When you're going up the hill, it looks like an upside down cross. And the tour guides there told us the reason why they built it as an upside down cross is they wanted these prisoners, when they go up, that's the last thing that they see. So, I mean, it was already, that place was just so scary. It was, it took me a couple days to shake off that energy of just like that feeling that, you know, I'm going to murder you, I want to chop your head up, and I want to do all these things. So I think that's why that's definitely my number one.
That's awesome. A good one.
It was, oh my God. I recommend anybody, Just don't go in the summer because it was so hot that I went to sit in the car for 1 second like an idiot, and I
have
burned
curly
my
hair,
butt.
so yeah, summer in me. My hair will always be in a braid in the summer.
Oh no, I took like stuff for my hair. I'm like, I'm ready. You know, my hair's not gonna get frizzy. I'm gonna look nice. No, 100,
Nope.
and it was like over 100 degrees in Tennessee. It was like I was dying. I was miserable. But
This
it was
last
fun.
summer was really hot, and it was like that all over. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I think that's my up to date. That is definitely my favorite place, just because of the way it felt. You just felt that sadness and anger, and just wow, it was just amazing. It was amazing.
Awesome.
As a medium, like I can't, like I feel things, but not quite to the degree you guys do. So it always like boggles my mind in a good way. I'm like, I feel bad for you guys because you have to feel it all, but yet I'm like intrigued because I'm like, I don't feel that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, we can feel it all. We don't necessarily have to feel it all.
Yeah.
If we put our protectors up and we put our boundaries in place and say, okay, this is too much. I don't want to experience this right now. We could. I mean, well, I don't know about a place like that necessarily, but we can walk into other places and say, I don't want to feel anything at all, and just put our bubble up around us, and we'll be perfectly fine. But places with that much history and that much energy.
Yeah, that place it was really intense because like we were on the grounds for like the whole day, and I felt nothing for about 6 hours. There was nothing, to the point that I'm like, is this place really, haunted? Like, are these people just bullshitting me? Like, did I waste my time? I'm hot. What's going on? There's no water. Like, and then I swear to God, one step into the prison, it was just like a whirlwind. Like, oh, here it is. And it was one of those places that I went in, I had my guard up, you know what I mean? I said my same micro prayers in my head. And I was like, nothing's going to bother me. But it was still very, very overwhelming.
Mr. Class would like to know, and this is a great question.
Oh, Lord.
I should ask every guest this. I have to say, I'm always afraid to ask guests, but hey, the chatter
I'm an open
asked
book. I am an open book.
The chatter asked it, so I'm going to repeat it, but I really do want to know.
Okay.
What is your stance on Ouija boards and why?
Oh, Dan, you know how I feel. You know what? He's doing that because he knows how I feel. Like,
I know, but I'm playing along.
More power to those people who use it. Good for you. That's for you. For me, my culture and my background, we are raised not to touch it, not to use it, not to look at it. And I've been in rooms where I see people using it and I'm like, nope. I'm not using it, not touching it. Don't mess with me. Whatever's there, stay in that area. You're not allowed to come over here. And I don't know if that's just fear that's put in us as children in my country, where it's like, no, you can't use it. So it's just, I just stick to what I know, what has worked for, over 500 years of my family. We do not mess with Ouija boards. Now, everybody else does, and I'm okay.
He's probably asking that question because he knows that I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum.
I'm in between, if it makes you guys feel any better.
Now, how do you feel, Callie? So, and I know she's in between. So now what's your point of view?
It's a piece of wood and a piece of plastic. Mm-hmm. They are not dangerous.
I'm not in between. I just read Philly.
But it's the board itself is just a piece of plastic, or it's just a piece of wood that has letters and numbers on it. The planchet is nothing. It's just it's an object. It's a tangible object.
It's the
without
intent.
The person, without the person doing anything, the board itself is not dangerous. The problem is the conductor. Does the person using the board have a rat's ass clue what they're doing?
Yeah,
90% of the time, no, they don't know what they're doing. And that's what creates a problem. But that could be said about somebody going into a haunted location and antagonizing a spirit, or going in. How is it any different going with a Ouija board and saying, is there anybody here, than walking in with an SB7 and saying, is there anybody here? There is no difference.
They can't see
There's
me,
no
but
difference.
I'm dancing. Ready? Oh, amen, Kelly. I worship you.
Question.
There is no difference. The problem is the stigma that's been put behind the Ouija board And so many people, you know, this paranormal phenomenon that's out there right now, that's kind of new. You know, that's come about in the last, I don't know, 5-10 years at most. Yeah. Ouija boards have been around since no offense, Mom, since my mom was a little girl. You know, they've been around for a long time. Well, probably long before that. I don't know when.
I think they've been around, you know, not just
hundreds of years, probably.
That version, yes, it's been around not that long, but, you know, people have been using methods like that to communicate from ages ago.
Right. So why now are they so dangerous? It's because there's so many people out there who don't know what they're doing, who's using them, or who believe that they're negative, and if they use them, negative will come through. If you believe negative's going to come, guess what's going to show up?
All right, so...
Sorry.
No. We have a very good question.
Sorry about that.
No, that is,
I agree with question. Kelly. Like, it's mostly intent in if you know what you're doing, what you don't. And Rosa has such an awesome question that I'm just going to cut in here.
Oh, is it Rosa Nil?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, we love Rosa.
Yes, Rosa.
Oh, I love the question. I know the question, but I want to read it word for word.
Okay.
The SB7? Or the SB box?
Something about what's wrong with the SB7?
Yeah. What's wrong with SB box?
In my opinion, I'll let you guys answer, but there's nothing wrong with the SB7. Again, it's all about intent and what you plan to do with these tools, whether it's you yourself as a medium as the tool, or a piece of equipment in your hand, or how you treat a location. It's all about intent. Mm-hmm. And everybody has a different opinion, so they can each answer. But in my opinion, it's your intent and how you treat them, and
it's your attitude going into it. It's your how you conduct that communication.
Exactly. That's strongly how I feel, and I'm not one for holding back on this show, so I just had to get that out there. It's all about intent. If you go in there in a positive way and if you go in there and telling people to F off and telling people, or spirits, I say people, but
yeah, because they were, you know, they were people at one point.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
You know, so I treat them with respect, the same way as they were living. You know, I don't like the provocation and people being nasty and coming in a room and saying, "Oh, where F are you?" You know, would you talk to someone that just walked into the room like that? You know,
provoking is no good, no matter what.
Oh gosh, no.
It's disrespectful, and that's the issue. When you start provoking to get responses, just to get fucking. Oops!
There it went.
There it went. When you start provoking just to get responses, well, you know what? How about when you pass away and somebody is harassing you in that manner? You're not going to like it. So,
and you know what? Those people that do the provocation, they're the one who are like, "Oh man, my life is so messed up. Why am I so depressed? Why did I lose my job?" How about you're not an asshole to spirits when you walk into a location? I mean, I'm sorry.
Amen.
This is why I like you, Peggy.
Yeah. Amen.
Fudge. You know? How about you're not an asshole? You know, like, cut it out.
Well, and if somebody walks in and says, "I demand that you speak to me," I'm not going to say a word. Sorry.
If I was a spirit, I would say, "Who are you? And shut up, and why? Like, leave me alone." Like, you know, listen, people, be careful, because when I'm a spirit, I'm gonna you better be nice to me. You better be nice to me.
You know what they say? Asshole in life, asshole in death. That's me.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you are the. People just have to have respect for spirits. Have respect not only for spirits, for the home that you're walking into. Like, just have some respect.
Exactly. You know, treat the dead as if they were living. If you're walking into somebody's house, how would you treat them? You're walking into somebody's house you've never met before. How would you treat them? Well, let me tell you, people, that's how the spirits see you. You're walking into their house. Show them the respect. Be kind. Be considerate. And maybe you'll get somewhere. Otherwise, they're going to haunt you.
Yeah.
So, Peggy, do you find it fun when you're out investigating with a group of people, and because you can talk to them, you can hear them, we hear the conversations that are going on in the background, so everybody else will be talking to the spirits, and you're just like oh, they shouldn't have said that, or oh, they're finding that hilarious. You know, I mean, do you experience that too?
Pick up on things like that. You're just kind of like, or like when somebody's like, oh, I heard this, and then you're like, that's not what. No, that's not what.
Right.
No. That was not even near what they said. So as a medium, you just kind of sit back sometimes, and you're confused because I'm like, that's not what's going on, you know?
I love when somebody's telling a story and they're standing there and they're like, I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
Like, there's a meme online that just was going around Facebook that it's like, you know, in humans, when we say the ghost stories, that the ghost is like, what? I never said that.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
It's funny.
I'm still way back on questions, so if anybody's talking in chat, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Take your time. We like.
So while she's looking for questions, Peggy, what's some of the things that you have coming up?
Oh, I wish you guys could see my face because I'm doing like that face. Well, starting January 19th at 9 p.m., it will be a podcast, and it will be Into the Abyss with Peggy Gypsy. And I'm going to talk about paranormal and everything in between. So it could be paranormal. It could be having a hoodoo priest on from New Orleans. Wink, wink. You know, it's just going to be a lot of different things in there. Not just paranormal. I want to talk about everything. I want to interview a lot of different people. You know, I mean, we all have like our top 5 that we would love to sit down and chat with. You know,
right.
I have my top 5, but I want a lot of different people. I want like a movie producer as well on. And just kind of pick people's brains because there's so much that goes on when a movie is made. You know, it doesn't only have to be paranormal stuff. I want to talk about everything. Anybody who's interesting, I want them on my show.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen.
Awesome.
And that will be right here on Paranormal Buzz, starting January 19th. She will be here with us, and I am so honored to have her on here.
Gosh, I'm excited. I'm like, yay.
She messaged me and she's like, oh, I'm kind of interested. I'm like, I'll approve you right now. And she's like, it's that easy? And I'm like, no, I know you. You don't know me by my real name, but I follow you by my real name.
She has, you're right. You have so many different profiles. So I'm here thinking that I'm sending something out to someone that I have no idea who they are, and they're gonna look and be like,
but I'm honest, Gypsy, right away I sent you my other name, and I'm like, I've been following you for a long time.
Like, Peggy Gypsy, like, what do you have to say? Who are you? No, get out of here. And she was like, it's me, I follow you. I'm like, girl, I know you already.
Yeah. So I was very, very happy. Have you ever done any investigations in the Dominican Republic?
Yes and no. Well, there's like I was a baby when this is just, I'm going to go off topic for a second because this is something that happened while we were growing up in the Dominican Republic. And I must have been like 3 years old. And, oh gosh, rest in peace, my grandmother from my father's side. She was really upset that my parents got married, and she hated my mother the whole time. And she, on my father's side, used to do Santeria. Yeah. So she did like a horrible curse on my mother.
Can you pause for a second and explain to listeners what Santeria is? I kind of know, but want to explain
Santeria is, it's almost like witchcraft. And there's 2 different versions. There's the light and there's the dark. So with anything you can do with good intentions and communicate with good spirits to help people, or you could do Santerias where you deal with the dark arts and the dark spirits. My grandmother, my father's side, was the dark side. And that house, we had, investigators come in. This is from what my mom told me as a kid. The only thing I remember was being 3 years old and going into the kitchen, and there was pennies falling, like just raining pennies from the ceiling. Just hitting, and it would hit me, and I'm like, Mom. And I remember that vividly like it was yesterday. My mom stated that she went through so much in that house, from, the wall turning red to, people chasing her, like dark shadows chasing her and saying her name over and over, to the point that we fled that house. My mom put us in the car, and she says that when she was looking in the rearview mirror to the back of the house, all she saw was just like She's like, Peggy, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Whatever they put in movies as demons was nothing compared to what she saw.
Wow.
You know,
crazy.
And maybe about, I want to say like 15 years ago, I went and I visited the house and I, did a walkthrough. And the lady's like, hey, we keep that room in the back closed off. And I said, why are you keeping the room? She's like, until this day, they still say your mother's name every single night. Like, you just hear like constant Julia, like real clear, just on a loop, saying her name. So no one goes to that house. So yeah, it's pretty creepy. So investigations there, I mean, I feel like the whole island is haunted. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, anywhere you go in that island, it's just kind of like, you see things. I mean, you're so close to Haiti. Like, it's for the strong. That's what I tell people. It's definitely for the strong, that island. Everywhere is an investigation in that island. Everywhere you're doubting what you see, what you just heard, and how you feel.
That sounds fun. I know, that sounds crazy.
Like, I tell people, it's a great place to visit. It's like the island is divided.
Right.
It's almost like, hey, here's a pig with lipstick. Look how pretty. And you take that lipstick off, which is, when you're no longer in the, the resorts.
Right.
And then it's like, oh shit, it's a pig. Like, oh, that's how that island is. It's like, it's real pretty for the tourists and,
I just got to thinking as I said that, that's such a ghost hunter statement that sounds fun. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait.
You're not like, hell no, I have to stay away from that place. You're like, I want to go. She's like on Travelocity booking her next vacation.
I'm like, get giddy. I'm like, ooh, how do I get there?
She's like, let's have a group. Let's all go.
Hey, you know what? I'm down for that.
Yeah, it's a cool place. It's like I tell people, someone had asked me, like, how is it with outsiders and the spiritual world and the paranormal world there? And I had to be honest saying, you're in an island where lineage is everything. Everybody is poor. So the only thing you have is your gift. So you have, your grandmother, great grandmother going back who are mediums and are psychics and are, they do hoodoo, they do voodoo, they do Santeria. And this is how these people survive. So having an outsider coming in, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard on that island.
So on your show, will you explain coming up? Because we have so many questions that I haven't even got to yet.
Yes.
We won't have time, but will you explain sometime on your show? Will you explain the differences between all of these?
Yes. My first guest his name is Sen Elias. He's the owner of Crescent City Conjure Shop in New Orleans. And he practices the magic of hoodoo and European magic. And he practices a lot. And I'm going to have him on the show where he's going to go down the line and explain everything for people. Because there's a misconception when people hear hoodoo and voodoo. They're like, whoa, isn't it the same thing? Are you just mispronouncing it, Peggy? And I'm like, no, not this time.
And again, that is January 19th. It's a Saturday. Yeah. So Saturday, January 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Yes. And that's what we're going to get into and break down what is Santeria, what is hoodoo, what is voodoo, and, just kind of hone that in and kind of explain it to people. And he's amazing. I'm very excited and honored to have him if people, that he's amazing. He's very well known in New Orleans in that scene. And I couldn't believe that he said yes. It was one of those long shot, law of attraction hashtag where like, listen, I'm going to throw this out there. You can say no. And he responded. And I was like, oh my God, I would be honored. And I'm like, you have no idea. I'm the one that's honored. One of those things where you just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to act cool, but in the background, you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Come on. Yeah. I was like, oh man. And inside I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So he's really awesome. And he has so much to say. And I just want people he's going to just educate people. And a lot of misconception when it comes to hoodoo, that people always hear voodoo or hoodoo and they automatically think it's something, demonic or devil worshiping and, we're, killing animals and stuff like that. But, it's good to have someone that is a professional in that field and just kind of clear the air out and stuff.
I'm going to interrupt, give a couple shout outs here. And please forgive me if I don't get to everybody. We will do a full shout out list at the end. But I just want to give a couple shout outs, and then I'm going to ask a question here from the chat. We have Miss Luna in chat. Hello, Luna. We have Mallory, my stepdaughter, who I love so much, so I have to say hello to her. I miss somebody. We have the very special Sue and Nick Pashuta from Short Bus Paranormal, who definitely 1,000% had a margarita for me tonight because they knew I couldn't. So I so appreciate them. But let's see. We have a question about dowsing rods. I want to make sure I get it from who. Here we go.
It was right after we were talking about Ouija boards. So
Rosa Neal wants to know, how do you feel about dowsing rods? I think it's a great question that's not asked much.
Yeah,
so
I wish you guys
sure
could see my face right now. I'm making a face like I'm so confused on dowsing rods. Like, I'm so curious to use it, but then I'm always like, oh, I don't know. Like, I have a wonderful pair of dowsing rods, but I've never used it. It's always something that stops me from using it. I'm always like, I want to use it. And then I'm like, oh, no, next time. So I don't have much experience. I've never used it. Hopefully one day I will.
That's how I feel. Yeah. I'm like so intrigued by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never had the opportunity.
And I'm always like, well, I take them out and then I'm like, I don't know. I go back.
It's one of those things you can't really judge until you use them yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think maybe they'd work for other people, but I know I can make them do what I want to. So it's like, I don't know that I'd ever trust that they're really working, because I know that I can hold them and I can say, okay, we'll cross, and they cross, and so I've never trusted
anybody, not just mediums. So you got to be very careful. Then again, I'm the type of person that unless I have 2-3 pieces of equipment, experiences all at the same time, I don't really count it anyways.
See, I'm weird when it comes to them because I'm always sitting there like, it's so weird. It's like half of my brain is like I'm a medium, and then like I have like this little like 10% that I'm such a skeptic that I'm like wait.
No, but I think that's good, Peggy.
How some people they think everything is paranormal. Everything. Oh, he has an attachment. No, he's an asshole. There's no attachment there.
No.
It's like. So I'm always a skeptic with things where I'm always like, even in my own house, like if I hear something, I run and I start looking, and before I'm like, it has to be a spirit. It has to be a ghost that came and knocked that down. Right. I always walk fine. Then I'm like, it was my cat being an idiot. Okay, here's my cat. And that's where the noise came from. So I'm always a skeptic with things. And when it comes to dowsing rods, it's like a little part of me. It's like, is it the person controlling them, or is it really moving on their own?
Right.
So it's hard.
I think it's important though that we have that skeptic.
Unless I have multiple things. So
yeah, the best ghost hunters, the best mediums, the best psychics, they're going to be the ones that continue to question themselves and understand that they can make a mistake. And anybody who listens to me for any amount of time is going to hear me say, if you ever encounter a psychic medium who says they're never wrong, run away. If you ever encounter a ghost hunter who says they can get proof 100% of the time, run away. If you ever encounter people who's like, guarantee things like that has to do with the supernatural in any way.
Investigator saying, hey, I'm an expert. I know what I'm talking about. Run,
because we learn things every day in this paranormal, every day. Like, people get upset at me. They're like, oh, you're a medium. Why can't you tell my future? Why can you tell me something about my dead dad right now? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you want me to lie to you? Do you want me to sit here, manipulate you, and take your $75 for an hour of me just basically reading your body and telling you bullshit and telling you what you want to hear? Or do you want me one day to call you up and say, you know what, Kelly? This is going on, and this is what they told me. Yep. And then you'll be like, you know what? I feel like you'll have more respect for me by doing that than sitting here and telling you that, your uncle said that it's whatever.
And part of my spiel when I sit down to do a reading for somebody is that I am brutally honest.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could be like people who could do readings. I wish. But that's just not my gift.
But that is part of what I tell them is I am brutally honest. I am not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear.
Exactly.
And quite often that does contradict what you want to hear. So if you want someone to blow smoke up your ass, you need to go someplace else.
Go somewhere else, yeah. Like I tell people, I wish I had that gift where I can sit in front of someone and focus and tell them, pick up on spirits and give them messages, but just not what I do. I wish I did. I will help more people that way, but I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm that random person who will call you randomly and tell you something.
It's like one of those things. Honesty, popularity. Which, I'll go with honesty any day.
Yeah.
And I'm not a medium, of course. I don't.
You know what? I feel like everybody is sensitive. I feel that you don't have to be just medium or be, a psychic and clairvoyant. I feel like we're all sensitive. You just have to I tell people, if you walk into a room and you have a feeling, don't question yourself.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I tell people all the time. I agree with you 100%, Peggy. I host intuitive retreats. And one of the things that I start out with is I ask them questions. How many of you guys have ever walked into a room and just felt different? That's your intuition. That's you being sensitive. How many of you guys have ever walked up to a person and instantly knew whether you liked them or didn't like them? That's your intuition to reading their energy. Everybody can do it.
It's street smarts because I grew up in Mass, but it's the same thing.
It is. And how many times have people said mother's intuition and nobody thinks anything of that? Everybody has mother's intuition. Well, take the mothers out of that and you're right.
Yeah.
It's a matter of training and how far you go and how much you explore.
It's just we practice with it.
Yeah.
We didn't, it didn't come maybe as natural to us either. It's something that, Peggy, and this is a question I guess I have for you. When you first started knowing that you could speak to spirits, how long did it take you and how did you get around questioning yourself that it was really happening?
I thought I was crazy as a kid. I was like, oh, no, it's my imagination. It's my imaginary friend. You know what I mean? Because you question yourself as a child. But then when you're walking into the living room and you're seeing, your grandmother's face change because I don't know how to say it in English, but in Santeria, when a spirit gets inside of you, you kind of like physically change, your voice changes. We call that cuando se montan. That's like when someone gets on you. So kind of seeing stuff like that made me be like, okay, maybe they're not my imaginary friends. Maybe why are they telling me this about someone that I don't know? So, I struggled with it, all the way till, I'm going to be honest, all the way till like my early 20s, I struggled with that. Because, it's in the American culture, it's almost like they make you feel like you're crazy or that you're a fraud or you're making this up. So it's just kind of hard. Like with my family, I will be comfortable and I will tell them everything and, everything that was going on. But like once you get out of like your comfort zone and your tribe and your circle, it's almost like you have to hide your gift. And I feel like maybe in the past, like, people are going to know my age pretty soon. Like the past like 10 years, it's been embraced more.
Oh, absolutely.
It's more like, oh, you're a medium. That's awesome. Not like you're a medium. You're one of those people, huh?
I know certain areas of the Dominican Republic that we've talked about are more strict on what they believe or what they accept. But do you find the Dominican Republic is more accepting than America of these special gifts?
100%.
As long as like who you are, like how would you balance?
100%. In that, like it's like Puerto Rico, it's like that too. Haiti, Dominican Republic. It's a very spiritual upbringing.
So does it matter who you are or where you come from before they accept it, or is it just more?
Well, the way they see it, like with any community, when you come in and you're an outsider and, they're going to look at you sideways until you prove yourself that you are legit and you're not a fraud. Then they, open arms to everybody because there are people out there who are frauds, who take advantage of people. And it's sad when you see that. and as a medium, Kelly, I don't know with you, I can tell when I see somebody and I'm like, oh, this person is full of shit, but I'm going to stay quiet and I'm going to swallow it.
Oh, and it's so hard sometimes. It is so hard.
Standing back and watching when I'm not a medium, I'm not a psychic, but standing back and watching that person just waiting. They're gonna collapse some point. I'm just
but they're full of crap.
Saying, shit always floats to the top.
Amen.
I don't get mad. I don't have to expose. I don't have to say anything. I sit back and shit, no matter how pretty, no matter how anything, always floats to the top. And it's that.
Because if you comment, if you give into it, you're stooping to their level. So why bother?
Exactly. Right. But yeah, those islands, they are very accepting of people once they know that you are real and you are, that it's real.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like it is here in the States, Shay. I mean, there's certain areas where they don't blink twice if you say, oh, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium. But I'll tell you something. Iowa used to be a brutal place to come out and say, look at me, I'm different, I'm psychic, I'm medium, because it's so conservative, so godly, so, and it was... Yeah, I stayed in the broom closet for a lot of years because I didn't want people to string me up and burn me again.
Yeah, I just know I'm from here, so I know what's what. But from everything I've heard from the Dominican Republic, and most of it, honestly, is from only a few people, one of them being her. But it's like so deep-rooted that it's hard for an outsider to get into. Does that explain it right? I don't want to misspeak.
Well, the best way I can explain it, it's like, how here in New York we have Lilydale. It's a community, psychics and mediums, spiritualists. It's like, Joe Schmo from the street opening a shop there, you know what I mean? And they're like, okay, who are you? Why are you here? What's going on? It's almost like that where they're like, they'll accept you if you're real.
They're going to vet you a little bit first to make sure.
But they're going to make you sweat. They're going to, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be like, oh, hi, welcome to our community. It's like, okay, what's going on? Why are you here? What are your intentions? Is this something, real? Is this something that like what's going on with that?
I wish every community was like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I'm behaving tonight, I think. I'm trying.
You haven't cussed that much. A couple times.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm going through right now to make sure. Kelly, you want to go through and make sure I didn't miss any questions while I make the next big announcement?
Sure.
If you don't mind, if you can.
Oh, that's fine.
So, not only do we have Peggy Gypsy starring, which she will be Into the Abyss, Saturday, January 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. But come February, we will also have REP Paranormal starting Thursday, February 21st, 8 p.m., 7 Central, which everybody in chat will know as Kim Addie Purvis, sorry. So, we have a couple... Yes, very excited. Excited for both you guys to start. I can't wait.
We're the new kids on the block. Be nice to us.
I'm nice. If I like you, I'm nice. If I'm not like you, if I don't like you, then, it's up front. So you're already good. You're already good.
You've helped me out so much.
So... And we have another newcomer. I know I've missed a lot in between, but we have Ronald. He says, hello, Shay. Hello, ladies. I've missed a lot of people. There's tons of chat tonight. And I've missed a lot, but I'm trying to keep up. So.
Okay.
You want to?
So.
Go ahead.
One of the questions that we got a while back was, who's someone that you would like to investigate with that you haven't yet? I know, put you on the spot.
Dan Class.
No offense to anybody she doesn't name.
You know what? I am so happy that this is not like a video thing because my face gets red when I get put at the spot. I'm like, oh shit. Who would I like to investigate? Let's see. Zach Bagans.
What?
I would love. I know, but I would love to investigate with him.
Sorry, I'm supposed to be like diplomatic.
I know.
I refrain. No, I get where she's coming from, though. I would like to just investigate it with him one time because
just one time.
I say this, and even as I'm saying this, it's hard for me to say, but maybe he's not quite as full of shit as he seems to be. You know, I mean, maybe there's truth to it. So,
but I want to investigate and not have it be recorded because I feel when it's not being recorded, people are more likely to be themselves.
Yeah,
and maybe he will run around and be like, "It's a demon roach! Oh, it's demonic roach!" You know, oh my god! I feel like maybe it'll be a different level of Zach. So that's someone that I have on my list that I would like to investigate with.
He'll take his shirt off, and I'll be like, "Yeah, okay."
And what is wrong with that? No, wait a minute.
What's wrong
right
with
there is the benefit.
Off, Kelly,
don't
come
get me
on,
going.
No, you just made. Hey, is this an investigation / date, Zach? Like, what's going on? Put your shirt back on.
You just talked me into going.
Like, when are we going?
Really?
Zach, if you're listening, message me. We'll investigate. You must take off your shirt. No,
it is a requirement. It'll be in the contract that at least 50% of the investigation is shirtless for you, not me.
Like,
I think
I wonder, is there something wrong with me then? Because I'm just like, yeah. I would investigate with anybody in this world. Joe Schmo down the street before Zach Bagans.
Be him and Tennessee Wraith Chasers. They look like some fun guys. They look like a good time.
Them? Oh, I'm in. Tennessee Wraith Chasers, I'm in. But Zach Bagans, yeah, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to investigate with him. But
so when I get the call,
Wraith Chasers, I'm in.
I get the call, they said I could bring someone. It's definitely not you, right?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I don't. Anyways, let's see. What does she have to say?
But hey, it could be because I want to investigate with him, or I want to use all the equipment that they have. Like
I would if it was to.
They have everything.
I would to a point where like to see what they're really like, but they. Anyway, yeah, no.
And how much of it is pressure from the show? You know, how much of it is because they are a TV show, that they're being pressured for it to be sensationalized and pressured for them to come up with stuff, you know? So I think there's a lot of truth to what Peggy was saying. If you get them off the air, are they still the same type of people?
I've heard him, not the other people.
Yeah.
From multiple people that he's a douchebag off the air. Whether that's true,
and
I have no idea. I've never met the guy. No clue. So I have no idea. I'm just going, you know.
And all I can say is, though, I mean, just because they've been on a show like that doesn't mean they have to be a douche. You know, Nick Groff is one of the nicest people in the world.
He is a very...
He's just so down to earth.
And humble person.
Yes.
Very down to earth. It's like...
It's so funny to watch him when he's out in public and all the people are coming up and they're like, "Oh my God, you're Nick Groff." He's almost embarrassed. He's almost like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not."
Yeah, I'm Nick.
It's so cute.
About Nick Groff from the beginning. Never, ever.
I was, and I knew just from his energy and from talking to him a little bit that he was like that, but to be able to just kind of stand back and watch him at an event and watch.
Do you know what people would say about me if I ripped my shirt off every other investigation? And was yelling demons. Do you know what people would say about me? Just because I don't make billions of dollars. What?
Oh my God!
You're making me start
laughing.
I think it's a whole different thing for you and I to rip our shirts off, Shay.
Yeah, I don't think none of us need to be ripping a shirt off on TV. Like, no.
I don't get it.
I mean, if you think about it, like Kelly said, I mean, they've been around for so long, so it's like every episode has to be outrageous and crazy. But if you go back, season 1, season 2, I mean, everybody wanted to investigate with these guys. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're so awesome, they're so cool." Yeah. But when it's a lot of pressure when you're on a TV show. It's like, your next episode has to be better than the one before. Your season has to be better than the one before. The rating. So it's a lot of pressure. So it's like, does he come off, like a douchebag? Absolutely. Is everything demonic on the show? According to them, that's what they think,
That's where you need to draw the line between entertainment.
Yeah, it's TV
and
at the end of the
paranormal
day.
Investigating.
Yeah.
Zach Bagans is good at what he does. Don't get me wrong. He is entertainment. They put on a show. They make millions of dollars. Awesome. But that's what it is. That's not what we do in real life. And people.
Oh no! Like I tell people,
that.
like no, it's not like Ghost Adventures. Not
It's
everything
not
is demonic. And when they have you ever seen a demon? Have you ever been? Me personally, let me knock on wood. Hold on, I gotta knock on wood. I never.
I'll knock on my head.
I've never seen a demon. I've never experienced a demon. No, it is not like Ghost Adventure that every episode, every house, every location has a demonic entity.
Yeah.
Asshole
it's
entity?
Such
Absolutely.
rare occurrence.
It's so rare. It's like, you know.
Why would they? I mean, if you're a demon, if you're at that status level that you're really a demon, don't you have better things to do than come harass some middle-aged woman who is just out having fun? I mean, come on.
Like, they don't want to bother us. They're like, yeah. They're small potatoes. We don't want to deal with that.
Right,
you know?
exactly. So, well, before we get sued by Mr. Beggins, and let's change topic.
And if I was going to be sued, I would have been sued years ago because it's nothing new.
We love you.
Zach, you want to investigate with me? Follow me on social media.
And again,
don't take off your shirt.
Personally.
We'll turn off the cameras. No camera.
Oh.
Just a real. No. Kelly, I see your face. No, I meant as a real investigation. Not this is not some chicken bow wow time here.
I let me tell you, I just bit my tongue. Legit.
We tell people, make sure you have wine for this conversation. Like, we're gonna be a riot tonight.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna ask another question. There was another question.
Hey,
I can't even remember because now I'm like so like flustered. I'm like
it's off in a dark place. Let's turn off the camera.
Oh my gosh! Bring it back! Bring it back, ladies.
Okay.
If you're in it for money, you might make more money if you keep the cameras on. Just saying.
Illegal today.
Oh my God! Stop it!
There's going to be handcuffs involved, but not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Oh my gosh!
Oh, we have strayed.
I love it. I wish these people could see our faces. I mean, and us cracking up. I mean, this is hilarious.
I don't know how red my face is.
You know what, you guys? Kelly right now is blushing, and she is touching her face with her hands.
Flush.
She is so flushed right now.
We have strayed. Okay. We'll focus. So...
Sorry, I was so straight-faced.
I warned people. I'm like,
yes,
it's going to be a riot tonight. Yeah, I told everybody it's going to be a riot tonight. It's three girls together. It's going to be a shit show. We're going to have fun.
It does not know what to expect. That's their own fault because I'm the same no matter who you are.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Ready? Go ahead, Kelly.
Bring it back, ladies.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
All right. So, someone had asked in chat. I lost it. Sorry. We all just got serious for a second.
I can't see the chat room because right now they lost it over a joke.
They're asking for cameras. Paranormal Chat does not have cameras for a reason.
This is the reason why.
I'm in my pajamas. That's the most reason.
Okay, someone in chat had asked, how do we prepare for investigations?
Oh,
let's see. I pray during the day.
Yep.
I am Roman Catholic.
Yeah, me too.
I pray. I say a prayer before I walk into the location.
Yep.
I say a prayer. I mean, people get so sick of me when they investigate me. They're like, girl, shut up. I say a prayer before opening any communication. And at the end of the investigation, I say a prayer. And before I step on the first step of my home, I let them know you're not allowed to come with me. You're not allowed in my home. You need to go away.
Yep.
So that's how I ground myself. I mean, of course, I do staging and stuff like that, but that's like where I find.
Up to
that's
the
how
staging,
I get grounded.
I agree. That's what she said. That's what I do.
And like I tell people, you don't have to be religious. It could be whatever you believe in.
I was gonna
could be your crystal, whatever you believe in.
Yep.
Focus on that one light. And
my partner does not believe in God, who happens to be my sister. Mm-hmm. She does not believe in God at all, but this is what we do. She does her thing, I do my thing, and it's 1,000% respectable. We mutually respect each other, and we make sure, we do it. So, Kelly?
I will usually start prepping myself as I'm heading to the location. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking about it a little bit ahead of time. If it's someplace that I'm heading that is going to be more intense, like when I was heading to Villisca, that took way more prep heading into that. But, normally I start as I'm heading towards it, as I'm starting to connect my energy to the location. And I ask my spirit guides to stay with me, to keep me safe, to keep the people that I'm with safe. I have usually crystals with me. I do have usually some sort of sage or sage spray with me, although I don't honestly do it every time. But, and then, I've never, again, knock on wood, I've never had a problem with things going home with me. So, I mean, if it's been extremely intense, or I feel like a spirit is more attached to me for whatever reason, like more attracted to my energy, then I will say, just a reminder, you have to stay here.
Yes.
But even that, for the most part, I usually just say bye, and that's kind of my intentions. If you stay here, I go where I'm going. So, but other than that, I make sure there's batteries in my flashlight, because I'm brave, not stupid.
We've had one hitchhiker in all the time we've been doing it, which I'm sure will come up Sunday, but in all the times that we've been doing this, one hitchhiker, that's not bad, because it was not an attachment, no matter what fans or people that have heard the story say. It was just a hitchhiker. They came along for the ride, checked things out, and they left. Not an attachment people.
Those are I call them straggler spirits.
See, I call them hitchhikers.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, they're straggling. They're just walking around, seeing what you're doing, and they'll pop in, pop out,
Yeah. I love that term, by the way, hitchhikers or stragglers or visitors, because they'll come and they're like, hey, I'm just coming to say hi, and then they go back where they belong.
We had a 2-hour ride home, so hitchhiker to me popped in my head, and that's what I called them. So.
Oh, I also wear a St. Michael necklace. It's blessed. St. Michael necklace. So that's also something very important that I wear every day.
I used to have a couple things, but due to personal stuff, I no longer have that stuff. But I think intent is just as important. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
And I think that's a lot of it. People will ask me all the time when I go into these locations, well, how do you keep yourself protected? How do you not get attachments when you go home? Well, because I don't believe that they can. Because I don't give them the ability to do it. I say no. And I know I'm safe, therefore I am safe.
Exactly.
Is it 100%? No. But 95% of the time, at least, you say, hey, I'm here to communicate. You cannot come home with me. You cannot touch me.
And it's all about boundaries.
It's a boundary. I feel the same, which is why.
It's boundaries when you walk into a place. It's just even like with friendships. There's boundaries. There's lines you don't cross, and that's how I am in the spirit world. It's like, hey, certain things are not allowed. I have my son in my house. Nothing is allowed. If you're a straggler, you just happen to pop in, get out. I'm like, my son is here, let's have some respect. Like nothing. I'm very, very careful with my house because of my son.
I think intent and the way you think and what you project. And again, people, I'm not a medium. I'm not a psychic. I'm none of that. But still, as everyday person, what you project and what you think and what you allow covers at least 90 to 95% of it.
If you walk in and you're like, oh my God, what was the sound? Oh my God, something's going to come and touch me. Oh my God, am I going to get scratched? Oh my God, you're already putting that out there, that fear. And you're like, oh, look at this person. I'm going to mess with her all night.
Yeah,
but, Kelly walks in and she's like, I'm going to say a bad word, but she walks in like a bad bitch. And she's like, nope.
Yep.
I have boundaries,
That's 6,000% agree with you. Yep.
Yeah. Although they still sometimes take you by surprise.
Oh, that's why I say like 90, 95% doesn't cover everything because there's still that surprise.
Well, part of it is when you're used to their energy or they're used to yours. So I was out at a location last weekend that I've been at quite a few times, And one of the resident spirits that's there, I know him, he knows me, and he just likes me, and that's fine. He likes to stick pretty close to me, and I don't mind because he's not dangerous. But we were standing, and there were 3 or 4 of us standing looking down a hallway, and we'd been pretty quiet because we were hearing noises at the room at the end of the hallway. So we were just standing there listening, and I didn't feel him walk up right beside me, and all of a sudden he's like, "What are we looking at?" I about wet myself. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, you cannot do that. You have to announce your presence.
Give me some notice, dude.
You know,
Oh my
it
goodness.
happens.
Dude, I can't see you, so you have to let me feel you if I'm focused on something else.
Not too long ago, I was at an investigation because, I'm co-owner of Mysterious Journeys, and it's myself and Lynn Chekai from Within These Walls from Beauty Space.
Hello, Lynn.
And it's pretty fun. You know, we take people on amazing ghost hunts, and we don't consider it it's a tour because, we're showing people around. But we tell people when you walk in with us, you are an investigator. You are going to be asking questions. This is not the Lynn and Peggy show and you watch us do everything. We want people to participate.
Oh, absolutely.
And we were at a basement of this location, and, maybe 10, 15 minutes before, when we were investigating upstairs, in one of the room, which is like a children's doll room, they had new stuff come in. So, the energy changed. And this thing was just nasty. I mean, like sexual nasty. And I was just like blushing, and it's saying how things sexually that it wants to do. And I'm like, oh my God, like, stop it. So, cut scene to the basement. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel a hand in my head, just like caressing my hair. That scared the shit out of me because I wasn't expecting something to touch and it, like caress my hair like in a sexual way. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go. No, go away. What are you doing this? Don't touch me. That's so creepy.
And there's such a difference between them being close to you and talking to you and touching you. Because the same spirit, a different time that I was out at this location, it's Edinburgh Manor, he always walks right behind me, but he never touches. He never touches me, but he's pretty close. Yeah. But for some reason that night he reached out and he touched my back. Oh yeah, there was a whole lot of choice words that came out of my mouth.
Yeah, so it's like it catches you by like surprise because you feel like it's like an electric
shock
touch, like a shock. But you feel like, oh my God! And I was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, leave me alone. Like, I am not into spirits. We're not going to have a relationship. Leave me alone.
I was thinking about every date I've been on ever. I was like laughing. They couldn't, but that's, yeah.
I actually did have a spirit touch me inappropriately, though, and I didn't realize they had done it. We were down. Well, and it was funny because we were down at the Mason House Inn, which is in Bentonsport, Iowa.
Yeah.
And in one of the most active bedrooms, I was laying on the big double bed that was in there, and I set things on my chest. It's just where I set things.
Oh,
and
Lord,
so I had
where this is going.
Right. So I had my cell phone on one, and I had like the recorder, I think, on the other side of my chest. So I had 2 things sitting on my chest, and all of a sudden I felt something kind of go like from, for those who can't see the camera, kind of go from my nipple area down the side of my
I could definitely
chest.
see it. Yeah.
Like my, and I thought, oh, my cell phone just slipped off and landed on the bed. So I'm like reaching around beside me on bed trying to find my cell phone, and I couldn't find it. And so I turned my body just a little bit to find my cell phone, and my cell phone slid off my chest. And I'm like, oh, well then, that was something else that just caressed my breast. And it's like, well then.
Oh, that is,
yeah, so,
You're like, you sexually violated me.
Right?
What are you
like,
doing?
Dude, there's lines. You have to buy me supper first.
Like, exactly. Like, take me out on a date. Give me some wine, something.
At least
when Kelly says something like that, when Kelly McCarville says something like that, it's like classy. When Shay Carroll says something like that, it's like, yeah, not so funny.
It's like, oh, she's classy.
It's like
Trashy
the difference between Iowa and Mass. It's like,
Well, anything that they say in Iowa, it's like so wholesome, so nice.
It is.
And,
like, really? I said the same
New York
thing in
and Peggy said something, and it's like, oh, what is she saying? Oh, Lord. It's like rated R right away.
Yeah, you guys need to spend more time with me.
I'm planning to. I'm working on it. So,
yeah, my mom said that the owner of the the Steamboat Inn that I was talking about, that the spirit that did it likes the ladies because they're so soft. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad you added the beginning, because I was not going to read that, because I didn't know what she meant, because I only saw part of the comment.
Yes. Yeah, if you only read the last few words of that, no.
Ladies
he
are
likes
so soft.
the ladies because they're so soft.
Thank you, Mallory. Thank you for coming. Good night.
My goodness.
All right. So, Peggy, we've been on about an hour and a half now.
What?
Yeah, it goes
It's
by
been 15
quick.
minutes. She's lying.
No, it hasn't been an hour and a half.
Our longest show ever on Paranormal Buzz Radio was last Sunday with Jen, Psychic Jen B, myself, and Kelly Mercado. It went 2 hours and 10 minutes.
The three of us together are.
Oh, my.
My bladder does not last that long. I am old as AF. And I left. That's the only reason why the show went that long. I left and came back.
No. Oh, my.
Yeah, she will.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
At least she
God.
waited to the end of the show.
Kelly, you left her in the middle of it. Who are you talking to?
That's what I said. At least you waited till the end of the show. I had to go potty. Leave me alone.
Peggy,
Oh my
throw
God.
out your social media. All of it. Just go for it.
Okay, you guys, my Twitter is Peggy Gypsy, Facebook, Peggy Gypsy, Instagram, Peggy Gypsy, the number 1. Someone took it and did a fake profile.
Boo, let's
And-
go beat her up.
Yeah, that was really crummy. And my Periscope, if you want to catch live investigations or me just chatting away, it is also Peggy Gypsy.
Awesome.
And then make sure to follow Mysterious Journeys on Facebook.
Mysterious Journeys on Facebook. It's a Facebook
Yes.
page.
We have tons
And-
of events coming up, and it's going to be an exciting year for us. We're very excited with the events we're going to be setting up.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I've seen some of them. Like some
Yeah.
of the posts recently. And,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, starting Saturday, try again.
Mhm.
Saturday, January 19th. I'm trying to read too much at once. Starting Saturday, January 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, you can find Miss Peggy Gypsy right here. And I'm so honored. I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. Grab your wine and let's chat. It's going to be a good time.
Don't know. I'm not allowed to drink on air. The fact that I have a beer in front of me, I'm like.
Well, you're
I have
drinking
two-
today. What is this? I'm not allowed to drink it, and she's taking a couple sips of beer.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, but I have
I've
two.
dinner.
I have 2 coffees and a beer. I'm the
Oh.
stupid one who admits it on air, though. Most people are like, I'm not drinking on air. I'm like, hey,
it's
Cheers.
water.
yeah, I
Right.
don't lie. But also, one more thing. Thursday, February 21st, we will have REP Paranormal starting their own show, which of course is Miss Kim Purvis. Looking forward to that. Kelly,
Yes.
throw out your stuff.
Yeah, what's going on with your stuff?
Okay, so starting on Wednesday the 9th, I will have my show starting. It's called The Realm Walker. It will be on Blog Talk Radio under Girls versus Ghost Media. And we'll be talking about paranormal, my trip through. The first show will be just kind of talking about how I got involved in the paranormal, how I learned about my gifts and stuff. Going forward, we'll have different topics we talk about. We'll have maybe a show all about reincarnation, all about spirit guides, but then we'll also have guests on. I mean, I'll need to have my Mr. Dan class on at some point, and all of you wonderful ladies. So we'll have guests intermixed with things too. But so that starts this coming Wednesday, and it is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. And what else do we have going on? So we've got
Too much, but go try.
yeah, so I've got a public investigation coming up on January 26th at the Granger House, which was our guest a couple weeks ago, or last week. I don't know, not that long ago on the show. We had the Granger House.
last Friday, yeah.
Was that just last Friday?
Yeah.
So I have a public investigation coming up there that I have just a couple spots left for if anybody's close and is still interested. We have a retreat coming up, but that's sold out, of course. But then I have, so Mama Pat, who's in chat, and I also host expos throughout the year. So our first one is coming up on March 2nd and 3rd in Waterloo, Iowa. Ooh. And it's the Psychic and Paranormal Expo. We'll have 50 to 60 vendors, probably psychic mediums, haunted locations, paranormal teams. Yeah, you know, keep it small.
Just 50, not like 10, just 50.
Yeah, just 50.
It sounds pretty big to me. It sounds like a big deal.
I cap it out at 75 because that's about all I can manage. So
it's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Oh my!
The bigger, the better.
At least one.
Yes. Oh my god! I can't. Oh.
So yeah, our first show is coming up first weekend in March in Waterloo, and then we have Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Ames, and the Quad Cities after that as well throughout the year. Keep watching me. I am on Facebook under Kelly McCarville Moonspinner or Mystical Moonspinner, and Twitter and Instagram under Moonspinner76. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But.
Yeah, I feel like you have a lot going on this year.
It is. I do.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm having a blast, and it's funny because I think it was Shay. She asked me. She's like, "So, do you have? You're busy or something?" I'm like, "No, I actually have got some time coming down." And I started saying what my schedule was, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't."
People in chat. She's like, "No, I have a few weeks." Kelly, I said, "Kelly, what do you got coming up?" Thinking she's gonna announce her show. She's like, "Oh no, I have a few weeks off." And then she's like, "Oh wait, I have a show starting." And then the people in chat start saying, "You have this, you have that." And Mama Pat started talking. And she's like, I don't think I have any time off. Never mind.
No, I don't. Well, somebody had reached out to me and they wanted a paranormal or an intuitive retreat. And I'm like, yeah, I should be able to squeeze one in soon. We're looking at June. And it's like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it seems further away until you're actually doing it.
That's true. That's true.
I feel
but between all of that, then we'll be scheduling some investigations, and I'll be doing some filming. And I started my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
So it doesn't have much out there yet. I'm still learning how to use it. Thank you, Jen B.
But you have it set up?
It is set up. Yeah, it's just under my name, Kelly McCarville, if you search me.
No, I'll talk to you after the show anyways, but I'll share that part of it. I'm trying, people, because iHeartRadio will not accept me with my language, and
no.
I don't really care, but...
Say fudge.
I can't.
I am technology challenged, so I am slowly figuring it out.
You would not believe I have grown so much in the past 3-4 months. Like, I'm the one who set everything up on Spotify. I'm the one who set up everything, every show, iTunes. I'm like, pat on the back, and then it's like the next step, and I'm like deflated. I'm like, another thing.
I spend this whole week messaging people. How do I do that? How do I share this? How do I do this? Oh my God, what do I need? You know, it's like
we have. All I have to say is, Paranormal Buzz Radio has a good base people. Benji, Brittany, Jen, Kelly. Kelly's part of the family. We have a good basis, and what one doesn't know, the other one knows. You know, so we're getting there. So, all right, let's see. It's an hour and a half. My bladder is probably telling me. All right, so last thing I'm going to say is, because I was told I had to. I hate promoting my own shit. But Sunday, the Skeptic and the Psychic, which is Psychic Jen B and Shay Carroll, which is me, will be discussing Cis Paranormal's 2018 investigations, which I have so far written down 17, not counting the duplicate investigations. I will be highlighting my top 5, and anything else Jen decides to ask me, which you never know, because her and I are a lot alike, and she's as crazy as me, and it could go anywhere, but I have a lot of homework to do tomorrow, and if you want to hear about why I do a podcast and how I got interested in the paranormal, here's your chance, because in 2018 we did at least 17 so far, and I don't know what else I'm to say. I'm good at promoting other people, not myself. So
the show is amazing. It's a good time. If you guys have never listened to The Skeptic and the Psychic, these two gals, when they get together, it is a hoot. Be sure you tune in Sunday nights. It's a blast.
That's nice. That's good. That was good.
It's hard. It's like she gave me like 5 questions. Where have you been? How many have you done? Top 5. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not good at promoting myself. I want to promote other people.
That's what I'm worried about with the podcast for the first show, because the first show's supposed to be about me. If we could skip that one and go straight to topics,
yeah, but you have us.
Fine.
You have us.
Hard when they're like, can you tell me about yourself? And you're like,
no.
And then 5 million things go through your head, no matter how prepared you think you are for that question.
Right.
It's like 5 million things. You see yourself at 7, at 25, 30. It's like everything all at once, and it's like a whirlwind.
And if you guys are anything like me, you pick out the 5% of the things that are in the "do not say these things out loud" category.
Oh, of course. Like, I'm not going to say this today.
It's like, Shay, do not say this on air tonight. What do I say? Boom, right off the bat.
Right. Okay, ladies, I have a question for you girls.
Oh,
this is going to be a good one. No, it's going to be a good one. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm setting it on. Who is your paranormal crush? Go.
Oh.
That's a good one. Who is your paranormal crush?
Are we like swearing on God? Like, do we have to be
again, if you guys can see my face, who is your paranormal crush?
Kelly, all you.
Kelly, you're first.
I'm thinking.
And if y'all married, sorry husbands, this is just a crush. It's innocent.
Man, this is tough.
Like, you mean like non-sexual way, right?
I don't know that that's what she meant.
No, I meant in the paranormal realm, from celebrities to regular folks. Who, if you had an opportunity, or who do you think it's like, oh wow, this person is really good looking? Make it easier. Who's your good
Kelly
looking?
McCarville.
No, you can't say Kelly McCarville. Kelly.
I'm thinking. Don't put me on the spot. I don't know. Peggy, who's yours?
I plead the fifth. I asked the questions.
All right. In a non-sexual, I'll answer.
Answer.
In a non-sexual way, because I do not want to sleep with him.
No. It doesn't have to be like who you want to bang. This is not like marry, bang, and kill. This is like.
This is not. Yeah. It's not a sexual.
Or am I going to end the show? Marry, bang, and kill. Go.
Yeah. Wow. I'm not in love. Well, I've been questioned about this before, so I got to be careful. I'm not in love with. I do not want to sleep with. But I totally respect in my paranormal crush in a non-sexual way. Can I stress that enough? Would be Chris Case.
Like Chris Case, the one who helps with Viddy.
Yeah.
He
helps with Viddy. Like, this is going way back. I just, like, we kind of think the same, and in some ways, non-sexual, nothing to do with sex, or, that's mine.
He's a good guy. Yeah, Chris is such
He's a great guy. And he's a single dad. Talented. He does all this other crap. Yeah. He's graduated. Yeah.
And his talent is crazy.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's talent. That's why I'm saying it's non-sexual, please.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Well, last time I said it, I got hate mail, so.
Well, I know his girlfriend now, and I would think she's probably not the hate mail type of gal, so I'm assuming she'll know it's completely innocent. But, so, for Chris, I'm saying.
Yeah, she seems really good.
I would say, man, it's tough.
It is tough.
You know, who would I like to get to know better? It is. I would say probably Nick Groff. You know, he is a good guy, and he is genuine, and he's humble, and he's got such amazing energy, and his talent is crazy. He's got an eye for things. He investigates in a way that I respect
Who's
so much.
Butler?
Gerard Butler.
Is that yours or hers?
So that's my mom's, and I know who.
Right.
So he was the Phantom of the Opera. He was Spartacus on 300.
Oh my God!
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He's So yeah. So if Nick is listening to this, or if this gets to Nick, absolutely no offense. I'm not a crazy stalker. Yes, I know you're one of my producers. Don't get all weird. So he's just a nice guy.
Oh my! Yeah, I got it from you girls, and then I played the fifth.
Yours? Wait a minute, back up.
No, Peggy, you have to answer the question now.
And you cannot say Dan Class.
Oh my God! Get out of here!
Dan goes without. I took him off the top of the list, just like we did for Hinsdale and Who Want to Investigate. Because of course,
say Dan Class.
Dan was number one. Dan is my number one.
Okay. So this is going to be really hard because this is so bad what I'm going to say. I really don't watch that many paranormal shows.
Me neither. That's why
it's so bad. Like I just found out who the guys from Tennessee Wrath or Wraith Chasers are. I just found out who they were maybe like 3 months ago.
Right.
And everybody looked at me like, what? How do you not know? So, I mean, who would be... Jeez.
If I have to go by looks, I'd pick them. But I don't know nothing about them. I know enough about Chris where I can, like, you know.
Gosh, that is kind of hard now that I'm put in the hot seat and I'm
thinking,
right.
Come on, Peggy. No, Dan.
Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know.
We're not hanging up till you answer.
Nope. The show will go on until we get an answer.
It'll be like ding, ding, ding. It'll be like 5 a.m. and I'm still thinking. I mean, for me, it's to be honest.
Yeah,
so I am in such a like work mode / mom mode. Like the opposite sex is like non-existent to me. So it's kind of like. So now when I'm sitting here like thinking like who's cute, who you know what I mean? I'm like drawing a blank.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good question to ask you, ladies. It was fun.
Yeah, it was, no. But now we need an answer from you.
Okay, I will pick Robert the doll.
No,
be a human being.
I'm messing with you guys. To be honest, I don't think I do that. I have a paranormal crush. I'm so picky and I'm so nutty.
You have to pick somebody.
You have to. You made us pick somebody.
I know.
And I went first. Poor Chris was like, oh my God, that girl mentioned my name again.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I honestly, you girls, I really don't even know. It was a question that I thought would be fun and quirky, and then we'll laugh at it.
You had to answer.
Yeah.
It's like a Rolodex in my mind of everyone.
You just got to pick somebody.
I have to pick somebody. Oh my God!
It's not like I'll make a clip of this and play it over and over and over and over again.
It'll be a meme. You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I have one. I mean, like, who would I like to work with? That'll be an easier one for me.
Well, that's what mine was. It has nothing to do with sexuality.
Yeah, that's what mine was too. Yeah.
If it's like, you know, you already know it's Zach. I would like to work with the guys from TWC.
Yeah, there's a couple of those guys that are hot. I will say on the air. They really are.
Oh my God.
And I don't say that often. Usually I'm
they are very good looking and very talented group of guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess it's funny because when she asked that question, I started thinking, you know, I guess I'm not walking around the paranormal stuff looking at them like, you know,
I
looking at how they investigate and what's their personalities like and what's their energy feel like. Now you're going to make me look at people all different. Damn you, Peggy.
It's you know what? It's all in good fun.
I have to defend myself here.
when they got turned on me, it's like I don't have a question.
Well, you asked a question. You never ask a question you're not prepared to answer yourself.
Right.
Well, that was my
Podcasting
politician
101.
Peggy question because I'm like, I'm not going to answer it. I plead the fifth. I don't have anyone. I'm too busy.
I even told Chris that when he was on the show. Chris and I met a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and it's like, and then when he came on, it's like, it's not sexual. It's not. I've never met him in person. I can't have that type of feelings for somebody, but I respect him. Like, hell. Yeah. I really respect what he can do and how he feels, and he's like up the same alley as me, so it has nothing to do with sex. So
I mean, can I say Aquaman? I mean, is that
No,
he's not in the paranormal field.
You said paranormal because I would have picked him too. Let me tell
you. Although I would like to bounce quarters off of him.
I mean, what is up with that movie? Like, are people really watching the movie or just watching him for 2 hours? It's like the him show. Like, oh.
Do you know that he was born in Iowa?
No way.
No, wait. No, excuse me. He was born in Hawaii. He was raised in Iowa.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So are you trying to tell me that men in Iowa look like him? Because if so, right now I just booked a flight right away.
So not all.
Iowa. I will tell you.
Although we have Jason Momoa.
I'm knocking on your door.
We have Jason Momoa, Ashton Kutcher, and
Ashton Kutcher. Hell yeah. The first one.
Guy.
He's very good looking.
I can't think of his name. He played Frodo Baggins. Elijah Wood. Is that his name?
Okay.
So they were all raised in Iowa.
Men in your state.
It's the corn. And nothing better to do than grow looks. I don't know.
It's like, hey, the corn-fed men. Those are the best.
She's trying to get off on this.
And the yes man, no ma'am.
Dude, I am not hanging up until you pick your paranormal crush.
Wait, didn't I pick my I did.
Oh, did you?
I don't know.
Say it again because we missed it. Let's make her say it again.
Is it just me? I missed it.
You know what? We have this joke with my friends that I should have been a politician because I would answer questions with a question and make it seem like I answered it when I really didn't.
You gave out possibilities, but you didn't say yours. And I gave a poor guy name that's not even public. Like, he's not, like, out there, so.
No, I really, I don't know. There's so many people I would like to work with. I mean, crush-wise, I don't know. I'm one of those people, you know what? I'm one of those people that are like, this is why I'm single, because I'm like, oh, you're nice. And then the next day I'm like, oh, let me breathe. So yeah, no.
Kelly, should we let her off the hook? What do you
think? I don't know. She made us answer.
She did, and I picked
because it was fun to see you.
It is kind of fun.
Non-TV.
It is a good time to sit here and listen to you squirm.
It is.
It is. I'm sure everybody's enjoying it.
Anybody that's listening, don't forget Into the Abyss with Peggy Gypsy.
Yes, guys, make sure you tune in.
January 19th at 9 p.m. 8 Central on Paranormal Buzz on Spreaker.
And I expect every single person who goes into chat that night for her first show to be asking her who her paranormal crush is.
Oh yeah.
You girls are bad. You girls are so bad.
You asked a question, Peggy.
Hey, I interviewed you guys for one question.
Big mistake. Big.
Oh my God. What did Dan go on and try to give his input on who's my paranormal?
Yeah, I think Dan might have dropped out. He's been quiet for a while.
Yeah, he might have gone.
All right, so I will definitely be in the chat on January 19th, and I will ask over and over and over and over again. So you
to date, Shay.
Yeah. You have a couple weeks to think about it, Peggy.
Okay, I will think about it for a couple weeks. All
right, so, I am so far off the topic that now that I'm thinking of paranormal crush, I have no idea. I said shout-outs. Kelly, you want to do it or you want me to?
All right.
We have time. You got them?
We have got Miss Kim Purvis, Shay Carroll, of course. Ailita was in there for a while. Miss Jen B joined us. Troublemaker Daniel Class was in there. Matt Waddell, Wolf, Mama Pat, of course, was in there. And Michelle Johnson was in there for a while. Let me get on my scroller so you don't have to listen to me click.
That's fine.
Cynthia was in there for a while with us tonight. And if I miss anybody, please don't holler. There was a lot of chat.
We had, I think...
Michelle Johnson.
Yeah.
Michelle Johnson was in there with us.
I think you feel the opposite way as me, though.
Rosa joined us for a while.
Ronald.
Yeah, you must be going for the top down.
Luna.
Madison was in there.
Maddie.
Sue from Short Bus.
Short Bus, yeah, they were listening. They told me this morning, like 9 a.m. I can't listen tonight, but I'm having a margarita for you. Thank you.
Did I already say Wolf? Did one of us say Wolf was in there?
No,
if not, he was.
So.
Yeah.
The lovely Luna joined us for a while. I think that might be everybody. You already said Mallory once. I think that's everybody. I think. If I missed you guys, please don't take offense. There was so much chat.
That's why I do it in the beginning, too, because it's so hard. Yeah. But tune in Sunday. Tune in Saturday the 19th, January 19th. Go ahead. What?
A huge thank you to Peggy for coming on.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Have followed you for a while now on Facebook and all the social media, so it was super fun to get to chat with you.
I know.
I was looking forward to it.
Me too.
I had a blast, girls. I mean, with both of your personalities, I know it was just going to be chaos and us laughing and having fun, and
we held it together awesome. Pretty good.
Yeah, we're good. We're all good together. We need to have our own show once a week or something. Just what are we talking about today? You know, it was a great time. It was a great time.
Can you imagine one show with all of us? Oh my gosh,
maybe,
like you and
like once
Jen
a month. You imagine once a month. Do it once a month.
Once a week.
And
I'm so tired.
Yak away.
Yeah. No, not once a week.
Not once a week. Once a month. Oh. You know what? Quarterly. Because we take up a lot of energy.
Yeah, definitely.
A holiday special.
There you go.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. So we will see you Sunday. Oh, you guys kept me so busy, and I was so thrown off by the Who's My Paranormal Crush and the poor guy I had to announce. That will never talk to me again.
Come on, but you're not going to tell me that wasn't the best question that I had all day, like for the whole chat right now. It was me. Who is your paranormal crush? You girls were so...
Yeah, but poor guy.
Kelly was blushing. She was thinking. Her wheels were turning. What did I do
to deserve this? But he also...
Shay was thinking about it, took a sip of her beer. I mean, it was pretty intense, you know?
If it makes you feel any better, the last time I was with Chris, we were calling them a REM pod, so it can't be much worse.
I didn't even drink half my beer. So... it's not that bad. All right, guys. On that note... now that my face actually might be red now.
Welcome to my world. I love to make people blush.
You wait till the 19th. Payback's a bitch, baby.
Oh, Lord.
And you just messed with two of them.
I know. What am I thinking? What was I thinking?
All right, you guys, hold on 1 second.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for everybody that listens to the replays. And check out next week. Next week we will have Toby and Tony from, I guess they're now known as Scars because they're in South Carolina. They used to be from Maine. So, personal
were they Mars before then?
Yeah, they were Mars. Mars.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So, guys, tune in next week and see you Sunday or hopefully not, one or the other, because it might be a mess because it's me talking about my shit. So one or the other.
It'll be amazing. Be sure to tune in, share it with all your friends.
Thanks, Kel.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.